Hoka, hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita Livestream of December 6, 2024, Mars Chronicles, Volume 12, My House, where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gundam, and the greatly desired sequels. I am your host, Creek Indian from Denver, Colorado, and with me from Fountain, Colorado is Lee. How's it going, Lee?
Yeah, pretty good so far.
Cool. And from Deutschland, we have Smendrick19. How's it going, Smendrick?
Hello, thanks for asking. Everything is fine here. Santa brought me a lot of chocolate, gingerbread, and all you need for a good Christmas feeling.
And to clog your arteries. That's good. So how are things going there, Lee, down in Fountain, Colorado?
Well, nothing really exciting to report necessarily. Just
how's your girlfriend doing, man? Is she did she get a new job, or she still got the one she has, or what?
She still got the one she has. I think she is looking for a new one, though. She'd like to get out of there because that hospital is so badly run. They've got a high turnover rate of people working in some of those departments.
Oh, wow.
I mean, they are overworking just about everybody there.
Oh, that's horrible. Well, she works long hours, I bet, right?
Yeah, about 14-hour shifts.
Oh, that stinks.
Yeah.
Did she have to work like a 14-hour shift like 3 days in a row or something like that, or what?
Yep, 3 days in a row.
Oh, Jesus. That's got to be brutal right there. So
yeah, especially with her health problems and staying on her feet that long, she is in a lot of pain when she gets off.
Oh,
and she
wow.
is completely wore out.
Well, tell her the Alita Army's thinking about her.
Will do.
Yes, indeed. How about you, Smendrick? What's going on over there in Deutschland?
Yeah, I visited our local Christmas markets here.
Yeah.
And yeah, had a really good time. It's rainy and cold, but not below 5 degrees, so no freezing, and everything is nice. But it gives you a really good feeling on the Christmas market. Drinking mulled wine and eating some cookies and gingerbread, and yeah, it was really, really nice here.
That's kind of the same thing we do here in the U.S., isn't it, Lee? Pretty much.
Yeah.
Vladi, I see you're out there now. I know you don't like coming on streams when there's manga, but this is the Mars Chronicles. It's not the original manga. So if you want to come on, or anybody for that matter,
come on.
I see David Alexander out there, and I see X-Man out there. So if you guys want to come on, by all means, do it. Or anybody else want to come on? We got space. I think we got 5 slots, so anybody can come on. And we can talk about Alita, and we can talk about Alita after we read the manga too, for that matter. Okay, well, let's get going, I guess. Once again, and the reason why I keep putting this up here, maybe it is a little bit of me about this bragging, I guess, but because I'm kind of proud of the achievement. But the main thing is to get this out there, because I hope somebody will see this and see the number of subscribers and say, wow, there must be a demand for Alita. That's kind of what I am hoping, So, but anyway, we're just within a hair's breadth of 220,000 subscribers. And, we're just keep pushing on. And we definitely certainly want Disney to know that there is a gaggle of people that want to see the sequels. And we are supporting the sequels, not only for our girl, Alita, but for our Queen, Rosa. We want her in the sequels. And of course, we want a lot of the other actors in the sequels as well, So, but here on the channel here, particularly on this channel, and when we get to the, I guess, the Discord channel, we're trying to do some cool things, you know, to keep people engaged. So, oh, look what Vladi has done. He's bought Filmora. I love it. That's cool, Vladi. So we can expect to see Vladi doing videos. So, you know, so Filmora is a really good app. I've started playing with it myself. I kind of use a free app called OpenShot, and it's not bad, you know, but it's Filmora has got a lot of templates in it, and it's got a lot of cool stuff. It's got some AI in it and stuff like that. So the Creek is still playing with it, and you know, we're gonna switch to Filmora as well. So, and
okay, can you animate the Hot Toys Alitas?
Well, I can do that without Filmora. I think I've done that with a couple of sites already. I got a video out there that shows animated Hot Toys Alita, and it's really uncanny the way it looks. You know, I mean, it almost looks like Alita, you know, posing. You know, I mean, it's not an anime like you would think of them running and jumping and stuff like that, but it's like they're standing and just kind of slightly moving around a little bit, and it looks like a real life thing. It doesn't look like you know, Hot Toys Alita, you know, type of deal. So,
okay,
but it looks pretty good. So, okay, yes, Smendrick. What is Smendrick? Does have AI animation thing? Yeah, it does. That sure does, and that's why I'm going to switch to it. You know, that plus the templates that are in it. You know, OpenShot's not bad, but you know, it doesn't have a lot of that. I have to rely on some outside resources to kind of animate things. So, you know, anyway, we'll get to that later. This is not a commercial for Filmora Wondershare. This is more of a, you know, just kind of what Vladi is doing, what Vladi's playing with, and what the Creek's playing with too. So anyway, got sidetracked there. So anyway, here's you know, the website is, I mean, not the website, the YouTube channel's got like I say, almost 220,000. I suspect I'll hit that probably maybe late tonight or early tomorrow morning. I suspect I'll hit 220,000. So, and we keep plugging along. We are on our way to 250,000 subscribers. So hopefully somebody will see that and say, wow, there is a lot of people that want to see Alita. So maybe this will push them over the edge to give us those sequels. We do have Rose's Queen Studios bust. She knows I have it, and she does want it. And we have each other's contact information. So it's just a matter of time, you know, before we get things lined up. You know, so, you know, you know, the fact that we haven't given it to her yet is no cause for concern, you know, because she knows we're out here. And Rosa knows we love her, and we want to give it to her as an award, not as a gift. This is us giving her an award like an Oscar. That's kind of what it's like. So anyway, we get that to her as soon as she's ready and when she's ready. And we're going to get it to her how she wants it. You know, you know, we'll just see. She'll let us know. And we got the Alita sequel petition going on. We got over 178,000, I guess, signatures on that thing. And it's been up for 8 weeks, I think. 7 or 8 weeks. I believe it's 8 weeks. So we've added almost 100 signatures to it. I'm kind of waiting. I'm going to put some more money in here myself, but I'm kind of waiting to see, you know, what you know, if it starts to die down a little bit, that indicate to me that maybe the money I put in there before is maybe gets expended or something like that. Then we can put some more in, because this is another way of us letting Disney know that we want that sequel. So, you know, between this and my channel having the number of subscribers it's got on it, Disney has got to know that there is a lot of people that want a sequel. You know, they have to know this. anyway, if you want to sign a petition, if you have not signed it yet, all you have to do is enter your name and email address. And I don't think you even have to enter your email address. You may have to. You get on there and find out. But anyway, that's all you got to do. You don't have, and you can, I think you can sign it, or they'll have a little option on there if you want. If you do put your real name in there, you can designate that this is an anonymous signature. And if you want to give money, it can also, it'll tag that as anonymous as well, if that's what you want. I mean, because I understand, we don't definitely, the way the internet can be really toxic, we don't want to, if you kind of have little reservations about putting your name on something like this, it's understandable. But I think this one here, it's pretty well controlled, and you get to designate, if your name gets displayed or something like that. So if you haven't signed the petition, let's see what we got here. Vladi says, should just fucking give us a sequel. Hell yeah, that's what I say. And everyone knows that they and the industry portrayed this movie. I agree with you 100%, Vladi. I sure do. And I do know that our Queen Rosa and James Cameron are still fighting for the sequel. So I know I have a lot of confidence that it's going to happen. So we just keep doing what we're doing because it's fun to do. That's kind of what I'm doing, and I'm not, I don't get down about this too, actually, folks. I really don't, I'm just doing what I do because I like to do it, Yes, Vladi. I'll tell you what, Vladi, you might agree with me, but if they don't give us this sequel pretty soon, we'll do the sequel, won't we?
Yes, we should.
By the way, folks, I did send a script to one of my actress friends that to see if she would be interested in it. Now she travels a lot, like a lot of them do, and we'll see what she says, but I did send her the script for her to read it, and it's it'll be a short. It won't be a sequel, and it certainly it's going to have fan-made entertainment, fan-made kind of video or something like that. So, we can put some disclaimers on it that this is not intended to be a continuation of the story or anything like that. But basically, I'll just give you a quick little hint. It's going to be based on Alita visiting her Uncle Creek at the Kansas bar in Denver. That's what it's going to be. So we'll see how that works out, So she's got the script, she's reading it, and we'll see what she wants to do with it. And I've indicated to her that I will pay her too, by the way. So and I think my brother's going to help me with it. He's a professional at that himself. So it'll be a fan-made thing, but it's not going to be a poorly put together thing. We're going to make sure it's that it's real good, and it does our girl proud. So anyway, I got sidetracked there. Sorry about that. Sign the petition if you haven't. And on Discord, we have the Alita Gaming Network. And basically what the gaming network is just a hangout for us for Alita Army types, to get on there, and they can talk to each other on the voice channels. You can post your own content on there. If it's not Alita related, you can put it in the off-topic channel. And Matu and I are kind of administering this. So, we kind of keep an eye on it, but we haven't had any problems, with anything that was, non-toward or something like that. I mean, the Elite Army's not going to do that, but we do keep an eye on it just so we don't get any, how the internet can be toxic. We're going to run that out of there if we see that. So, everybody's been having a lot of fun with this, and we've increased membership over the past couple of weeks. I don't recall how many we got on there now, but it's not a lot. It's still small and intimate at this point. And this past Monday, we actually had another watch party, didn't we, Smendrick? We watched, Ghost in the Shell, one of the episodes, I guess, or it was the movie, not an episode from.
Yeah,
the
I think it was
series.
like the original movie.
Yeah, it
first one.
was. Yeah, that's right. And it is similar to the live action that Scarlett Johansson was in. I mean, you could see a couple of parallels in some of the scenes, and in some ways it's a little bit like Alita too, in a way. Of course, it's a total replacement cyborg and stuff like that, or they don't call them total replacement cyborgs, they call them just full cyborgs, I think. But anyway, we had fun watching that thing, and it was we got to talk about it.
It was a really great movie. I think it's a bit better storytelling, more detailed, more a better mood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's more like a novel, isn't it, than it would be like,
exactly.
Yeah. But anyway, the link, if you want to join the Alita Gaming Network, the only requirement is that you have a Discord username, and doesn't cost you anything. It's free, so you can get on there. Vladi said he likes Ghost in the Shell, the anime, I guess, but he was busy. Yeah, I remember him shooting us a message on that, or shooting me a DM on it on X, I guess. Yeah. But if you want to join, just click on that link. It's the link below our little chibi Alita mascot there, and it's also the link is down in the description. So you click on that, you can join Discord, get on the Alita Gaming Network, and start hanging out with us. I try to get on there every day. Now, this past week, my furnace went out, so I had to get a new furnace put in. So that kind of tied me up for a little bit. So I still managed to get Lee's chapter 23 or file 24 or whatever read. So that was pretty cool. So I started reading it day before yesterday and just finished it about 30 minutes before the stream. So yeah, so if you want to have fun with us, there's the link. Okay, well, that rascal Angelus is not on. He's either oversleeping or he's working. He's doing one of the two. So so let's go right into it. Unless you guys had any comment about any of the previous slides, we can.
Yeah, good.
Cool. Well, this is kind of an interesting. I guess it's kind of an interesting, kind of chapter, because the Chronicles, the Mars Chronicles, is not a sequential thing. I mean, it's not like the original manga or the Last Order, where everything is sequenced by time. It's kind of jumps around, because you remember in chapter 11 that we had last week, Yoko, or Alita, and Erica fought each other, and they were both adults, and they're both in their 30s. Now we're going back to them being little kids, and I kind of take that as Kishiro, it's almost like he's replaying the little background, like they were when they were kids, to kind of augment maybe a future story or something like that.
Or maybe connecting current events to how it got to that way, or, some foundational problem that happened in their childhood that brought them to the point they're at now.
Yeah. Vladi says he wonders if Kishiro retcon everything after the end of the Last Order. If he does, because I've read that he is starting a new story. I don't know if it's a reboot or whatever it is of Alita. If he does, that's probably where he'll do it, Vladi. But I don't know any more than that. So, take it for what it's worth. Okay, well, let's jump right into it, I guess. So anyway, the very first scene is now you see this all these people with these weird masks and disguises and all, and you see Yoko or Alita there amongst all these weird looking critters that are running around, and I guess Erica. Once again, they're both little kids, and Erica looks back at Alita, says, "Stop following me around everywhere." And she kind of runs off, and Alita says, "Wait, don't leave me behind, Erica." So they're little kids. They still care about each other and all that stuff. This is before the time they were each other's, or actually Erica was Alita's arch nemesis. So basically, you know, I guess Erica has run off, you know, and hid, and Alita is a little girl. She's a toddler, you know, so she's, where are you, Erica? And she starts crying, you know, and I guess Erica feels sorry for her, so she comes out of hiding, says, sorry for teasing you like that, Yoko, you know, and then Alita says, Erica, you know, so anyway, Erica says, I'll make it up to you with a kiss, you know, and then she, you know, kind of licks her lips and said, your tears are yummy. I'll lick your eyes for you too. And then, you know, she starts doing that, and she says, it's so cute the way she twitches. And then she swallows something. You're cute. I just want to gobble you up. And she swallows something. And then the next thing that happens is that Alita looks up at her, and she doesn't have any eyes in her socket. And then eye sockets, and Erica jumps up screaming, you know, like that, like that. And then Erica wakes up Alita, and she's dreaming basically what she was doing. And Erica kind of grabs Alita and says, oh, Yoko, I am so relieved. And of course, you know, Alita's just saying, what the heck, you know, she's confused, you know, what, you know. And I can't remember this guy that drove them around in this RV. I can't remember what his name was. The old guy that picked him up from oh gosh, I think it was Cydonia or one of these places. But were you having a bad dream, Erica? And of course, Erica doesn't say anything. But said, well, we'll be at your house very soon. I can see Curry stop up ahead. And for those of you who don't know, the word stop means like town or city, you know. So Curry town, I guess, is what it would be in this case, because it's a small, you know, type of little I guess settlement or community there on Mars, because you can see there in that picture in the lower left-hand corner, it's the dome is up there, you know, so it's they're on Mars. So and then of course by this time, I guess the old guy has given Erica and Alita some more Beamite, which is kind of like Vegemite, you know. I guess. Where's Angelus when we need him? Let me see if hopefully he's not waiting in backstage. No, he's not. So that's good. So anyway, they're eating this, and then of course I guess you know, one of them, probably Erica, screams out, you know, ha ha ha, nah, like that, and then she's I guess she's maybe having like a daydream or something like this, and she says when she finds out they're going to Currystadt, she says, my dad is the coolest and nicest dad on Mars, and my mom is the nicest and most beautiful mom in the galaxy, and Hershey is huge and soft and fluffy. So, you know, that's Erica, I guess, in between the two of them, and they got the family dog there, and of course she's remembering, or at least she thinks she's remembering. Put a pin in that one. My house has a red roof and white walls. We always drove around in a sky blue car and had picnics outside. Mama's sandwiches were so good. Yoko, and then she turns around and then says, Yoko wants a mama and papa, you know. So, you know, kind of a like little kids thing, you know, kind of yeah.
Cute.
Yeah, that's right.
Overload.
Yeah, that's right. So I guess you know, well, once, of course, Yoko or Erica also, when she said Mama's sandwiches are so good, Eric or Alita says, lucky. Like, you know, you're lucky to have a mom and dad, you know. And then the old guy says, we'll be in Currystadt once we're through this tunnel. So anyway, I guess, you know, Erica's recalling this, or or either that, or it's, you know, in her brain, how she thinks about them or something like this. And then of course there's a picture of Currystadt. It's kind of like an island in the middle of a lake, and they're going through a tunnel, you know, which I believe is up at the top up there, I think is where they're coming from, because the others look like bridges, I guess. So anyway, that's kind of the picture of Currystadt. And then, of course, once they get through the tunnel, they're driving down through the town. And the old man stops at like I guess not a kiosk, but like a deli or something like that. And he says, and of course, Erica had told him, you know, where her house was. And I think that was in a previous episode, but, you know, Purpurn Road, that'd be the west sector. See where the dome's busted under there. And of course, Erica, you know, the kids hear this, and then Alita looks at Erica and says, "What's wrong, Erica?" And Erica, you know, up in the upper, see, I'm having to read this from right to left in case you guys don't remember that. That's kind of the way the thing's put together. And then Erica says, "My eye, it hurts." Well, you know, Erica doesn't have her right eye. So the guy, the proprietor of this restaurant or whatever, bodega or whatever it was, says, "Look, you don't want to take the children there." They call the area UKO, the UXO district, unexploded ordnance. So in other words, it was kind of one of those areas where I guess one of the warring factions had dropped bombs and planted mines and stuff like that, and a lot of it had not exploded yet, you know, or it didn't explode for one reason or the other. And he says it's a dangerous place. No one wants to live there if they can help it. What with all the unexploded bombs, only vagrants and outlaws to be found. And of course, as they're going there, he's describing it, I guess, and you can see the signs, you know, warning, danger zone ahead, unexploded ordnance, and it's written in German there. So in other words, that's, I guess the town itself has German roots, you know.
Yeah.
And you see out there you know, I guess from the picture this guy's painting, you know, about like 4 bombs are right outside this building, and those 2 guys are sitting there just looking at them, you know, like it's no big deal, you know.
Yeah.
And of course, the old man drives his medical RV, I guess is what it was, and they drive down to the street, and you see a bomb there in the street that didn't explode. And he says, "Here we are, 818 Purpurn Road. The map says this is the place." And of course, you know, Erica and Alita kind of look up, and you see on the right there, it is kind of a residence, but it's all burned out. In other words, it's been set on fire, you know. So, and I guess Erica's kind of, you know, she's shedding a little tear there. And you'll find out later why she's doing that at this point in time. But they're looking at it, and Erica comes in, excuse me, and says, "It's not true. This isn't it. It's not mine. I don't know this house. My mom and dad are the nicest." And of course, you know, it shows on the left over there, she starts, I guess, recalling this guy laughing, says, "That's right, Hershey, get her," you know, like that. And it looks like what is a woman, which I believe is Erica's mother, says, "Don't you dare give me that look. I'll poke your eye out to teach you a lesson." And of course, Erica says, "Stop, Papa, Mama, don't hurt me," you know. So I think things are coming to light here. And while she's kind of remembering all this, the old guy starts talking to the cyborg, and the cyborg says, "The folks who lived here, sure, I knew them. They were both a pair, real pieces of work. Johann was a grave robber and a drunk. Marita was a prostitute, a real twisted woman. Burglars invaded their home about 3 months ago, killed them both." And of course, the old guy says they had or rather the cyborg says they had a young daughter, just the sweetest little angel. I guess he's referring to Erica there. "Not like them at all. I think her name was," and of course the old guy says her name is Erica. "I'm looking for her relatives." And of course, meanwhile, while this is going on outside, Erica runs up the stairs. Alita says, "Erica, wait." And then Erica says, no, this is all wrong. We went on picnics in a sky blue car." And she looks out, and you see she's got a look of terror on her face. And then, of course, she's thinking of this happy family, happy life. In other words, she's kind of picturing this in her memory, or at least she has mental images of it, you know. And then, of course, she faints, and Alita says, "Erica," like that, you know. And I guess the old guy, you know, I guess they get back into the or they may even not be in the RV, I guess, because it'll be tough to find any relatives, I reckon. Johan's a deserter from the Southern Warlord's forces, so he fought in the battles, I guess, between the warring factions on Mars. I've heard Marita was the consort of his superior officer. So
Creaky, you are disconnected. Creaky?
One of the higher ups in this military unit, you know. Then again, he was a known bullshitter. Who knows how much of that was true? So in other words, he doesn't really know. He's just telling him, you know, kind of what he was been told, I guess, by Erica's father. And then, of course, the old guy says, "What's that you've got there, by the way? Can't you tell it's a dud?" So in other words, he's holding a bomb, but the debt collectors don't know it yet, you know. So in other words, he's doing it to keep the debt collectors away. He's got that hammer, and he's if they start to approach him, he threatens to hit this bomb, blow them all up, you know. So he's kind of crazy, this cyborg is, you know. But anyway, you know, they kind of move on from there. And meanwhile, Eric is still looking out the window, and she's recalling this, you know, and she says, by these two guys that are talking, that are kind of in between houses near her house, and says, "Is that intel solid?" Johan rather, pardon my English or American pronunciation of the word, the name rather, Johan really got a big ass treasure. And the other guy says, "Dead ass true, I heard. He was talking up a storm about it at Hinkle's bar. Are you here to steal my papa's treasure?" So that's, I guess, Erica, you know. And of course, these two old guys, these two guys say, "Hey, it's just this. Hey, this kid just hurt us. No shit. What should we do now?" You know. So anyway, after that, I guess the father is in there, kind of zonked out. Looks like he's been drinking, you know. And I guess you know, these two guys come up, and he says, "Who's there?" And what the, you know, and the guy pulls out, "My gun's tied to the wire, tied up with wire." And then, of course, one of the guys kind of kicks him in the head and says, "How?" And the father, I guess, says, "How the hell did you get in here? I booby trapped the place." And he screams, "Hershey, where are you? Hershey," you know, in other words, the dog, you know. And the guy says, "The dog, one piece of poisoned ass meat took care of him." So they poisoned the dog. And now, on the other hand, that juicy ass treasure, old man, my treasure, goons like you wouldn't know what to do with it. The treasure's hidden under the floorboards beneath the carpet. And that's what Erica, that's, you know, she's kind of, it's a silhouette there, but that's who says that. Erica says that. So anyway, there you see her pointing, and the father says, Erica, did you brought them in here?" And he screams, "Erica, you betrayed your father." And then, of course, the father jumps to grab Erica, and of course the two guys shoot him. You know, they kind of blow him away, you know, they shoot him several times. And then the time goes on, you know, the father's all shot up, and Erica's standing there, and the mother comes in, and she kind of screams, and, "Honey, are you," you know, in other words, say, you know, "Are you okay?" She starts saying, "The hell is this? You know, that's the treasure? Just an old ass book, man. You're shitting me. That's it? That's some weak ass reward," you know. And of course, Erica, you know, picks up the book. "Busted our asses for nothing," the guy says. And of course, I guess that they either shot or kind of beat up the mother or something like that. Looks like she's been shot. And, you know, the mother says, Erica, call a doctor. And then, of course, you know, she says, you know, some liquid starts being poured on her. And she says, you know, kind of as a reflex, like, what are you? And then, of course, Erica is pouring some, looks like alcohol on her. And Erica, you know, clicks open a lighter. And of course, the mother says, no, you can't. Please, dear, Mama's sorry. I wasn't good to you. I'm sorry about your eye. So in other words, her mother is the one that picked out, you know, that, you know, took out her eye, you know. And the mother screams, rot in hell, you little bitch. And then, of course, Erica sets fire to the place, killing the mother. So, and she's out there dancing in front of the house. And that's why the house is all burnt. You know, remember what we saw in one of the opening panels there. So I think what we see there, and of course, this is just the ending of that. So we see here what is Erica's, I guess you could say her basal or her underlying, you know, kind of personality, as it were. She's basically psychotic, you know, is what she is.
I don't think she started that way.
No, she didn't. But I think she may have repressed her memories of what she did. Because
she definitely repressed her memories. That much
because
is pretty obvious.
this is what, because here she's saying, she's like in denial, you know, she says, no, this is not my place. You know, I mean, I had a perfect family. We went on picnics, you know, and stuff like that. And she goes running through the house, sees it's all burnt out and stuff like that. And you can see where her mother right there actually took out her eye, you know, with a fork. I mean, that's pretty
Well, the
brutal.
dad let the dog chew her hand off.
Yeah.
And
so
then the mother gouged her eye out. I mean, they tortured their own kid.
Yeah, that's right. So, and of course, Erica, you know, kind of blocked all this out of her head, you know, and she says, stop, Mama, Papa, Mama, don't hurt me, you know. And then, of course, you know, she's remembering all this stuff when she finally gets confronted, you know, in the house, that she took action about this, you know, about the, you know, what she did. You know, she tied up her father's gun so he couldn't protect himself. And she basically set her mother on fire and burned the house down.
Saw a chance to finally free herself from that nightmare.
Yeah. So, but see, she had repressed her memories. So she kind of didn't recall that until she got back in that house, you know, and that's where we left off. So you can see right here is that Erica, this is the beginning of making Erica who she is when her and Alita become kind of nemesis, you know, kind of enemies, you know. You know, she went from someone like at the very beginning here, someone who really loved Alita almost like she would love a sister, you know, waking up because she thought she had eaten Alita's eyes and she hadn't, you know, and she was hugging her. I'm so relieved, you know. From that, she went to this. So, you know, and that's because now she's remembered everything. And of course, that shot on the left right there, that panel on the left, happened.
Well, this happened before she even met Alita.
Yeah, that's right. She and it
was after all of this, she couldn't handle what had happened, so she repressed it, replaced it with a fantasy.
Yeah, that's right. Which was her. She had a perfect family, and they went on picnics together, and she had a fluffy dog.
She had something worth coming home to.
Yeah. So, and now that she's remembered all this stuff, I think that's going to really change her personality, I think, you know, so.
Well, she and Alita both went through some real terrible stuff. For Erica, it ended up twisting her up into something monstrous.
Yeah.
Alita, I think temporarily at least, it forged her into something a little less than human, but when she lost her memory, she got it back.
Yeah, that's right. But that woman must have been shot up pretty good not to be able to defend herself against a kid pouring alcohol on her.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, those two burglars must have shot her up or something, you know. So
shot her or just beat her, one of the two.
yeah, one of the two, yeah. So they definitely shot the father, you know, and poisoned the dog. And the dog was probably a really you know, it was probably abused and probably, you know, would bite anything around him almost, you know, just kind of a mean-spirited dog, you know, in terms of the way he was treated, you know. So anyway, thoughts, guys?
Well, it certainly explains why Erica ended up becoming the person she is now.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if these panels we see here was a reflection of what really happened.
It could be
But
just a
I
memory.
think, I think it's a replacement for earlier forgotten memories,
Yeah.
just to bring her, to bring Erica in another mood,
Yeah.
maybe, in a to replace her missing or other memories with this one where she controls
Yeah.
any cruel situation, any terrible things with those where she can control everything.
Yeah.
It ends up the same way.
Yes.
Yeah? It ends up the same way, but when you replace the memory with what we have seen here, then for her, for Erica, it looks more like I did it. I controlled it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if she really didn't.
Yeah, she may have thought she did set her mother on fire, but maybe she didn't. But it's her way of her brain reacting for her poking her eye out, for example, or and letting the dog eat her hand, you know. So yeah.
So I wouldn't prejudice Erica in any way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only if someday the manga volumes will end. Yeah. But till then, I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't prejudice her for.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't prejudge her either. But the one thing is that we do know, though, is that she doesn't have her hand and she doesn't have her eye. So we know those two things actually happened. But what we also, whether she did it, whether she set her mother on fire or not, she thinks she did it, and that has formed her personality as an adult, helped form her personality as an adult. Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Anyway, folks, here's the link if you want to come on and discuss this with us. You know, we'll be happy to you know, bring you on the stream so you can talk about it. Any other thoughts, guys? Let's just kind of go back through it just so we'll see if we can pick up anything, I guess.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't really make much sense to me that it wouldn't be the real memory, considering her reaction to recovering it. I mean, she passed out from the shock.
Yeah, that's right.
If it were a constructed memory, it wouldn't have that kind of reaction to her.
Probably not, yeah. Yeah, and that's, I guess, her coming close to her house where her eye starts hurting like that. Now she's starting to recall, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm afraid, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That things weren't as rosy as she thought they were, you know.
In a way, it makes her like that other young girl, the one that died back after the orphanage got hit.
Oh, yeah, the one that thought she was the Princess of Mars or something.
Yeah.
What
I think
was her?
it's very similar. I can't remember her name, but it
Yeah.
seems very similar to that. Basically, a reality so terrible that they have to create a fantasy to escape from it. To have
Mhm.
something to look forward to, something to hope for that's better than what they're at.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I saw a quote out there. It might have been from Badman. Said, "Poor Erica." I agree. You know, I mean, to
No, I
treat a
do
little
too.
to treat a little girl like that. I mean, you know,
Yeah, having her own parents torture her practically to death.
yeah. And it's kind of made her twisted as an adult. So
That'll leave some, especially at that young of an age, that'll
yeah,
do some real psychological damage to somebody.
yeah,
I don't think there are very few people I can even imagine that wouldn't have some serious issues after that.
yeah.
Yeah, I think in English it's post-traumatic stress disorder. She tries to manage
Yeah.
things that, or pictures. In some
Yeah.
cases, memory is only based on some pictures she found, or
Yeah.
she reminds of, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's I don't know much about this this disorder, but yeah, we see it in our real world, yeah,
Yeah.
in the wars all over the world, and yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, well, this is one of the things I remember saying in the past that, you know, one of the things they could do if they wanted to do an anime for kids is they could do a Martian Chronicles type of or Mars Chronicles type of anime, but they would have to really tone it down a lot. You could not put this in an anime for kids to look at. That's not going to work.
Yeah,
you know. I mean,
it's more Rod Rob's thing.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, if you remember From Dusk Till Dawn or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, Dust Till Dawn, or that what was it? Sin City was very dark like
Sin
this.
City, or even here the Dark City, or I can't remember the title at the moment. It's wow. It's boo.
Yeah.
It's heavy stuff. You must rate it 18 or no minor.
Yeah.
Rating, yeah. It's too cruel.
Yeah, when I read this the first time, of course, way back, and then preparing for this, I actually did feel sorry for Erica. You know, I mean, I just, you know, she's a little girl treated like this. You know, it's you know, it raised my hackles quite a bit. You know, about that. You know, so yeah, because kids, you know, kids are so vulnerable. You know, they're not. You know, they're like adults. You know, they're not.
Yeah, they see see, feel, hear things in a much more intensive way than adults do this. Adults have seen a lot of things, have hear a lot of things, and so on. But children sometimes see things in a much more intensive way. Yeah? They are smaller, so everything seems bigger than it is in. If an adult looks at it, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
Well, you know, one thing about this
heavy
too.
panel. I don't know what to say.
Well, the thing about this too is that had this not happened, if these two burglar guys had not come in there, these two criminals, and done what they did, and things kept going on the way they were, Erica probably wouldn't have survived. She would have eventually been killed.
That
Because,
seems very likely. Yeah.
yeah, and of course, in
Yeah.
that case, if that would have happened, how would Alita have survived? Because Erica did help, Alita when she was really little. She's still little, but at the beginning of the Mars Chronicles, she was so small she couldn't even talk really, so she would have been probably, maybe she might have been picked up by the military and raised for combat. Maybe it would have turned out similar, but I got a feeling that if this had not happened to Erica, Alita wouldn't be alive, so anyway, that was just my thought about that one.
Look at what Battle Angel fan wrote in the chat.
Yeah.
It's another interesting point. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like now my dog Solly, when he was alive, he was really big. He's a Newfoundland, but he was gentle. He was Newfoundlands are not aggressive unless you attack their home. And they are very protective. In that regard, but they would not, or at least I've never met a Newfoundland that would have chewed off a little girl's hand like that. So because they are real gentle. But to Battle Angel fans' point, a little kid like that against a big dog, they're defenseless. They can't.
Yeah, they can't estimate what happened. Yeah, they cannot foreseen things. Yeah, and if they saw a big animal, whatever it is,
they're afraid of them.
It's a very natural thing.
Yeah.
It's
Bad Man says that the little girl Lee was referring to was Ninon Silber. That's right. Thanks for that, Bad Man. Because I couldn't remember. We couldn't remember her name. So anyway, this is why Erica, or this is the begin. Not why Erica, because this is not a matter of black and white here, or 0 or 1, right? It's really something in the world, in the Alita verse itself. You don't have the typical good versus evil. You do have some of that, but a lot of the characters are shades of gray, aren't they? They're not purely good or purely evil. A lot of times, they're complicated characters, and Erica is really complicated, particularly when she gets to be an adult. And you can see why, because this happened to her,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I'm always avoid to prejudge people without knowing the basics.
Well, in this case, I think it does kind of give Erica, maybe she's not purely psychotic, because I think she's more complicated than that, but it does give her those tendencies, where she's off the rails basically as an adult,
but psychotic.
She's not purely psychotic.
As a result of what happened to her. So. Maybe I should mute myself. I don't know.
No, don't mute yourself. You can say what you want. It's cool.
Nah, I think it's less cool, but more. In our days, we judge over people we don't know.
Yeah.
We see this in any subjects. If it is religion, if it is politics, if
Yeah.
it is social contacts, social competences. That's why I'm moving very, very carefully in social media.
Yeah.
I don't say this is the right thing. This is the wrong thing. Without knowing the.
Well, I would say that image on the lower right there of her smiling, I don't interpret that as a kind of an evil, sinister, ha ha ha, I got you. You know, I interpret this as like, I'm free at last. You know, it's kind of the way I see it. You know, I mean,
that's kind of what I was thinking. It's like they can't hurt me anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It actually reminds me a bit of. You ever seen the show Dexter?
I believe I watched one episode of it.
Well, it's definitely not.
He's a serial killer, right?
He's a serial killer who hunts other serial killers.
Yeah,
and he works for the police.
Yeah,
they don't know what he is, but you know, that's what he does. His start in life as a sort of a psychotic killer that he became in adulthood happened as a result of a very violent and traumatic incident in his childhood. It kind of reminded me a bit with like Erica. It's like he wasn't like that until this thing happened that just basically shattered his reality and turned him into something completely different.
But see here, this is like with her learning this by going what she's you know, remember like we said, she repressed this memory and now she's back there and she sees it. It's like a light switch has been turned on, right? And all of these negative thoughts and images are in her mind, you know, now. So I think that's going to have an impact on anybody, I think. You know,
I think part of it too is the fantasy that she had gave her a bright spot.
Yeah.
And now that that's been torn away, there are no bright spots in reality anymore. There's nothing but this horror all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, you would hope. Now, you know, we're going to see what happens between her and Alita as we keep going through the Mars Chronicles, obviously. But one would hope that even though that really what she had was a really great bright spot, you know, of her childhood, now being ripped away from her, that, you know, now she's kind of got a de facto sister in Alita, you know, that maybe could bring her around. But we're going to see how all this plays out in the future when we continue to read through the manga itself. So,
okay,
yeah, this is tough stuff.
the manga is pretty dark. It is really.
Yeah, I was going to say the whole idea of turning into a children's sort of anime or something like that. It's like, I'm not sure how successful that would be because I think the Battle Angel Alita story in general, the world that Kishiro created, that is so very not a kid's story.
No, it is not.
Yeah.
But I think if they could come up with something that they would have to really, really overhaul.
There would take Chronicles. A lot of rewriting.
Yeah, it would. but it would be good if they could get little kids involved in Alita Battle Angel, because as they grow up, you know, they would continue to see Alita and, you know, in years to come. It's like way back in the 60s when Star Trek came into being, you know, look how many versions of Star Trek we've had over the years, you know, and that's kind of what I would wish that we could get with Alita, you know, that, you know, that Rosa plays Alita for as very long as she can. And, you know, and then it keeps the story keeps evolving. It keeps getting bigger and bigger because they have got enough source material to make this happen. You know, they certainly do. So anyway. Any other thoughts about this, guys?
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, this would be
I don't know what to say. I want to see how it's going on the one side,
yeah, yeah.
because we are adults.
Yeah,
But on the other side, I want to see it to turn into, I hope, for a better turn. Yeah.
well, I'm not going to
turn
spoil.
smooth.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil for you. But she's going. Erica's going to meet Baron von Muster eventually, and it's going to be pretty tough, you know.
Yeah.
So we'll.
Yeah, there's another individual who is twisted by trauma from his past.
Yeah, that's right. And twisted to the max too. That one is, you know. So anyway, and of course, Alita, of course, she, you know, in the story, she goes through a pretty tough
that seems to be a fairly common theme in Kishiro's story. A lot of people end up getting terrible things happen to them, and it twists them into these monsters.
Well, you think about it now. Of course, this is not like the movie, but if you kind of merge these two a little bit, and then considering the fact, well, particularly with a movie, if you go through an interplanetary war, that's going to be tough on everybody. You know, it's not going to be a fun thing. You know, so it's going to be pretty sure it's going to be pretty tough.
Yep.
But I don't remember this story. I'll have to go back and read it again. Yeah. I guess Angelus and I read through this. We went through the whole thing, you know, all of them. I have not, God, I got to do this. I have not read chapter 9 yet. Or I say, now this is volume 12, but this is out of one of the earlier this is chapter in the books I have is like chapter 2, I think. I think, I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look. But there's a lot more of these volumes to come, you know. So, but you know, I think, you know, the idea of children being without parents through a major scale war like this, you know, you can only imagine how that's going to affect them personally, you know. And I remember we talking on Den stream one time that. You know, when Ito wakes up Alita, he rebuilds her, and she wakes up. She's given the gift of amnesia, and she kind of destroys a lot around her by trying to figure out who she was before. When in some ways, of course, you can't blame her for wanting to learn who she was, but there's so much negative, you know, in it, that you would say, you know, wow, you've been given this gift. Why don't you just kind of like Ito did when she brought the berserker body to him? You've been given a second chance. How many of us get that chance? And she gets mad and slams her fist down on that table, you know, and destroys it, you know. And,
well, I can understand where she's coming from with that.
Yeah,
I mean, you can definitely see where he's coming from. You want a new chance at a better to do things over, maybe do them better. And she just wants to know who she was, and she wants to know, what am I? Who am I? How do I fit in here?
Yeah. Now, I think Ito was wrong in not giving her the berserker body when she brings it home, and the reason why I say that is because they live in such a tough environment, you know, in I guess the surroundings, you know, being super high crime, with cyborgs being what they were. And if you had what you considered your little girl, you know, like Alita was, you would want to make sure that she had the ability to defend herself. You know, in the doll body, she has that ability, but not like she would in the berserker body, you know. So, but, you know, anyway, it's like Smendrick says, it's not for us to judge. So, you know, I'm sure Ito
it's very reasons. Difficult to
yeah, that's right.
Yes, what would happen if you protect her from any harm, from any damage on the one side,
Yeah.
and make her as tough as we know Alita from the manga.
Yeah. Well, like
It's
Bad Man says, the berserker body in the manga was worse than the berserker body in the movie. Maybe, but still, both of them are pretty badass bodies.
yeah.
Well, the one in the manga was basically designed to be a terror weapon.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's why they called it the berserker.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, any other thoughts about this, guys? I mean, it's a pretty dark story. It's one as
Yeah, it's really, and if you switch from Christmas markets coming home, having
and then you
some
have to
good
see this
deal,
shit.
and then this one, it's a little bit tough. Yeah,
Even as dark as it is, it's almost as bad as some of the real world stories I've read about what happened to children in war zones.
yeah,
It
that's
doesn't
my
quite get
point.
that bad. but
Yeah,
it
it
gets-
doesn't. It's not as bad. That's right. And
If
we don't
you-
need to describe that here.
No,
Yeah,
I wasn't going to go into detail. I
Yeah,
was just saying, it's like,
yeah. But
Yeah.
it's our reality. Yeah,
Mhm.
in 2024. Yeah,
mhm.
it's we have to learn to handle it. Yeah,
Yeah.
some guys can handle it, I'm sure, but some people,
Well, that's the problem too. Is a lot of this stuff, some of these terrible things people go through. The human mind isn't meant to go through these things.
Yeah.
It isn't meant to. So when it does and it breaks, it's difficult for me to fully blame the person who it happened to,
Mhm.
because there's no way you can withstand that in a lot of cases.
Mhm.
And if you do, it's a miracle you managed it.
Well, it's understandable that Erica turned out the way she did.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, you could see how it would affect her.
Lee,
know.
maybe you can you can answer me a question.
Maybe.
You are writing fanfics.
I've
Yeah.
written.
Would you, Lee, go so far to describe those situations or those stories as we have it here in
Let me pull up the link for Lee's fanfic, and then you can judge for yourself.
Well, if you're talking about children in a war zone, it depends
Yeah,
on
no.
whether or not it's relating to the story in some kind of solid sense. Like if my main character we're traveling through a war-torn area and he was encountering those kinds of things,
Yeah.
then I would probably give some description at least of what's happening around the character, or maybe even to the character. But it would have to be something that had some bearing on the story.
Greek, we will lose this link after the stream, as it is here on stream.
No, after the stream, we can pull up, if you want. We can pull up Lee's fanfic, and now wait a minute. Lee's fanfic has got 28 chapters in it, so you're not going to get through it after the stream. I mean, it's going to take you a while to get through it, and
exactly.
And Smendrick, it is really detailed. So now what we could do is we could set it up by going through chapter 1, if you want to do that, and kind of take a look at it when we get into the Stammtisch. We can do that. So
no, that wasn't the point. Sorry, my English is horrible. Yeah, sorry.
No,
sorry.
it's not.
What I mean is, would you like to post this link on our gaming network?
Have we not done that? I should do that.
All the fanfics should be announced or
I tell you what I will do.
I will advertised.
I will load that onto the Alita Gaming Network in the one of the content channels. I'll do that.
Yeah, yeah,
If you
maybe
actually, if you could make a maybe a fanfic channel and have other people like channel does not
Oh,
exist. She's
yeah.
got some of her stuff, and
Oh, I could.
probably basically create a
Man,
channel where
Yeah, I can do that.
other people can have their stuff posted at.
I can do that. I can definitely do that. Yes. That's a great idea. I will do that. And then we'll put Lee's fanfic. We'll put Maxie's fanfic in there.
Mhm.
Yeah. If they like it. Yeah, if the authors.
Yeah, you might want to ask the authors to make sure that they're okay with it.
Well,
Yeah.
I think. Well, Lee, are you okay with that?
Sure.
Yeah,
if
and
people
I think
are-
Maxie would be too, but I'll ask him. And I'll ask Channel if she wants hers. Put in there. Now, my fanfic is pretty simple compared to Lee's and Maxie's, but I've got a fanfic on YouTube, and what I'll do is I'll put that one in there as well. And then everybody can. And it's a short read. It's not going to be hard to get through that one. So.
Yeah, mine was supposed to be just a short story. I only intended originally about 6 chapters. Then as I kept writing, I was like,
oh, what if this happens, right? Oh, this is going to
it's
happen.
like, well, this happens, and then this leads into that, and it's like, well, now I've got this whole other thing going.
Yes.
But again, sorry for my poor English.
No, your English is fine, Smandrick.
The point is, or my question to Lee is, how far would you go to describe those really horror things?
Horrible, yeah.
Those scenes who could.
He's got a couple of them in there already. In his. Of course, it's not didn't happen to a kid. It happened to his titular character, but you can read it for yourself.
Yeah. Well, did you have more?
Do you need experience with post-traumatic disorder? Or where at which point you make or create a story you would believe it could happen?
Well, for a lot of that stuff, not a lot of it, but some of the stuff, I just looked into interviews with combat vets.
Okay.
Them relating their own experiences. For dealing with the amputation, when Jason loses his limbs, he loses both of his legs and his left arm. I looked through, there was a channel, Footless Joe. It's a young woman, well, relatively speaking, young woman. I don't think she's that old. I think she's in her maybe early 40s. She actually lives here in Colorado Springs, in fact, it turns out. She lost her foot and part of her lower leg due to complications that arose from a horse riding accident. And it basically, her going through some of what she dealt with helped me sort of paint a picture of what Jason went through. What also helped was some of what a number of other individuals. There was a lot of the combat vets who lost their limbs on the battlefield, as well as one guy who was talking about a time where 2 years after he lost his limb, after he'd gotten therapy, he was on the lake, some lake, with his family, just having fun, and suddenly he snapped, and he just nearly flew into a rage. And it was basically an indication of just how deeply traumatizing losing a limb can be. So I tried to add in, some of that stuff into what Jason went through.
Okay.
Now, not to paint Lee's fanfic as all dark. He's got some humorous situations.
Yeah,
in
I
there
tried to
as well.
put some humor in there as well.
Yeah, some of it is pretty funny.
Maxie was pointing out that the first chapter, he said it was a little heavy on that, and I'm kind of like, I can see that, and it was a bit of a balancing act for me because I wanted it to be true to the portrayal of somebody dealing with heavy depression, with the mental illness I've dealt with. But I also knew that if I did that, it was probably going to cost me readers, because people aren't really necessarily going to be drawn to that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a pleasant read in a lot of cases. The second chapter, he did finish that one, and it was about the same thing. He did mention I probably could have put a little bit more into trying to portray Jason just trying to push through and keep going, even though there doesn't seem to be any point to it. And I kind of agree with that. I think I could put a little bit more on that, because I didn't put as much on the second chapter with that.
Well,
But
Max,
I did try to, you're saying?
yeah, Maxie and I did talk about that a little bit, and I told him, well, I kind of enjoyed it because not knowing any more than I know, about those kind of afflictions, it kind of helped me frame really well what your character Jason would be going through, so it helped
that was
me a
part of the
lot.
reason.
So,
Yeah, that was part of the reason I wrote it. Is because I've lived with it. I wanted to have a story that might either, for anybody who is interested, help show them what it's like being inside the head of somebody dealing with that.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's in the case of some people, one guy who left a review who said it helped him, find some, I think his comment was something along the lines of, if your main character can find a reason to keep going in the world he's living in, as terrible as it is, then I think I can probably find a reason to keep going as well. That kind of thing.
Oh, that's a positive right there, man.
Mm-hmm.
If that helps somebody, that's perfect, So.
Yeah, so there's a couple reasons I wrote it the way I did. I knew it wasn't going to appeal to a lot of people. I knew I wasn't going to get as many readers. I'm actually surprised I got as many as I did.
Yeah, don't read Lee's fanfic and think you're going to read a chapter in 10 minutes. That ain't happening.
I tried
a lot of detail in that.
Yeah,
thing.
I did try not to go too overboard with that.
Well, no, I don't mean it's too long. I don't mean to say it's verbose. What I'm saying is there is a lot of detail in your fanfic, and you cannot read through it in 10 minutes. You can't do it. I can't do it. Now, if you're a speed reader and you've done this, maybe you can, but the Creek can't do that. When I read something, I have to read it. I like to read it slow. I like to really concentrate on what I'm reading, So
same here with my bad eyes. I can't read. Do this speed reading I had to do in former years. Yeah, for professional reasons. This doesn't happen anymore. Yeah, I have to go. Yeah, my eyes don't see an entire sentence. Anymore, and speed reading is something where you read across sentences, or paragraphs or whatever. But with bad eyes, you can't do this.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a good idea, though, Spendrick, that you, or was it Lee? I can't remember which one of you, for us to create a fanfic channel on the Gaming Network. I will do that. In addition to that, folks, I will also put a link for Rose's live stream that she did back in 2020.
Oh, yeah.
It's too bad she didn't do any more of those.
Yeah, and I meant to ask her that,
well, I imagine she probably got a lot of real weirdos in there.
That's
probably might be one of the reasons.
Well, that's what she told Charlie and I, that the reason she's not on not TikTok, Instagram anymore is it's too toxic, I believe, is what she said. Something to that effect. I don't recall exactly what she said, but it was something to that effect. And from what I've read, and what I've heard others say, on X or Twitter is that, you know, there was probably some folks on there that were being pretty, you know,
Weird.
not nice, you know, weird to her and stuff
And
like
even
that.
journals. I saw some articles related to her or having her as subject.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
that's a shame, you know, because people,
really,
holy shit, man. I mean, it's a movie, for Christ's sake. If you don't like the
Mm.
movie, fine, don't go see the movie. But, you know, there's no reason
Yeah,
to be an asshole about the whole thing, you know.
Yeah, it's basically like
yeah,
they're trying to
not
smear it,
not
basically.
Yeah.
not only it wasn't and the articles wasn't only about the movie or movie related, but they getting really personal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
in the private life of an actor.
yeah.
I know people wants to read it and then they click adverts, advertising and whatever. Yeah, I know all these reasons.
Yeah.
But damn it,
Yeah.
keep away from the private life from people. Yeah, if they are famous people or not. Stay away.
Yeah.
That's why I have a very difficult relation with what we in Germany call the rainbow press. Yeah,
Are they like the paparazzi or something? Or?
yeah, created in most cases. Yeah, they are not journals, but really paparazzis.
Yeah.
Creating stories around
That's not
a photograph or around a short sentence they heard or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I know one thing. If you know, if Rosa does come back on Instagram and she starts getting that shit from people, it's not just going to be the Creek. It's going to be after those individuals. It's going to be the entire Alita army is going to come after them, you know, probably, you know, I mean, because that is just not satisfactory. And another thing I absolutely hate when I read this is stalkers. I hate that shit. These people need to leave, you know, if it's a celebrity or whoever it is, even if it's like an ex-girlfriend or boyfriend or something like that, don't stalk these people. What the hell is wrong with you? You know, I just can't stand that shit, you know. So anyway, look, you got me on my soapbox now, so I'll get off of it.
Yeah, but as I said before, I try to understand those paparazzis or those stalkers or whatever. I try to understand why they are acting like they do. But
well, if they're in an event and they're taking pictures and stuff, okay, you know, but to stalk somebody like that just to try to catch them in a weak moment or something, that's bullshit. You know,
or prowling around outside their house.
Yes, that's bullshit. That cannot stand. So anyway, get me off of that. So because I remember one time I was with a friend and we pulled up next to a celebrity and a friend, get his autograph. Hell no, I'm not going to get his autograph. You know, we're in the car. We're pulled up to a stop sign. No, I'm not.
You're in the middle of the road.
No, I'm not going to get his autograph. That's no way I'm going to do that. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, that's enough of that, I guess. You know, get my hackles up a little bit on this one. All right, guys. Well, I guess any other thoughts about this? We kind of got off the rails, but that's okay. I don't mind, you know, because I would dearly love for Rosa to come back on Instagram. You know, I mean, I really would. You know, it would be great to see her on there and doing those streams again. You know, I mean, it would be super. By the way, if she's listening, I don't think she is, but if she is, And if she wants to start doing streams, I'll do it for nothing. I'll manage her streams for zilch. You won't have to pay me a penny. So there you have it. I'll do it. So
she
anyway,
could appear man.
yeah, well,
an
anyway.
anonymous, yeah, in an anonymous
Anonymous, yeah, that's
way,
right.
yeah, on our gaming network, for example, because there are only people who really love her.
Yeah, that's right. And
not
Matu and I are going to make sure too, and it's not just her; it'd be anybody on there. If we start seeing any kind of people doing, sending bullshit posts at people and stuff like that, we are going to kick their asses out.
yeah,
they're not going to stay on the gaming
as
network.
we have the control. Or you have the control. I don't want to control anything. Yeah.
Well, Matu and I do.
Yeah, that's okay for me. Those guys and girls, could feel safe. On our
gaming network, absolutely.
Gaming network, yeah.
And we haven't had any problems like that on the gaming network too. I mean, I'm
so happy about this.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
But I wouldn't invite anyone I know. Yeah. If I'm not really sure that they are fighting in the same way with us.
Well, people that see let me go back. Anybody can see this link right here, but what the thing it is, if they don't have, I won't say honorable intentions, but if they're not coming on there for the right reasons and they start harassing people, we're going to kick them out and they're not going to come back on. I mean, that's because we watch out for that, but we haven't had any issues with that, none whatsoever. So. Cool. Well, I guess what we'll do on the text channel is I'll put a fanfic underneath
do this.
Yeah.
As a conclusion of today's stream.
Absolutely.
Be nice. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I'll create it as soon as we get off here. I will create it. Cool. I love that idea. That's a great idea.
Should the pure fanfic channel be the same where we comment it?
It'd be the same. Yeah, sure.
Or should we separate it so people only find on one channel?
Only on one channel
the fanfics, and on another channel, the
have
comments.
Discussions of the fanfics.
Well, in Lee's fanfic, the comments he has on his on the site he's on. What's the name of the site again?
You're reading it on fanfiction.net.
Yeah, that's right.
Archive of Our Own, which is the other site I've been working on. That one actually has comments set up in the way of a forum, which means I can see a comment, reply directly to them, and we can actually have a discussion in the comment section. Fanfiction.net doesn't allow that.
Yeah, just a one way.
Yeah.
It's just from the reader to the author. So
the reason why I suggest separate channels is it becomes
doesn't crowd it.
It becomes too confusing. If you
like a general
relate, if you relate to the discussion I had with channel, with our Alita Army member channel, it was a mixture of replies and new ideas and and no one could follow this anymore after a while. So to make
Yeah,
it.
I'm not. I'll have to consult with channel on that, but I think when you put a text channel up, like probably what I'll do is I'll put another text channel up. It just says fanfics is all it says, and you can load a link to your fanfic on there, and put the link in there, and it's going to be like any other text channel. Because people will put comments anywhere they want. I mean, we get like, for instance, I've noticed Maxie will put the live stream for Radio Chaos. I've seen him put that in the user creations or the general text channel sometimes, as opposed to putting it in the live streams.
Yeah, at the beginning, we are around 40 people, maybe.
Yeah.
40 members on this gaming network. But in the future, it becomes more and more audience. Or gets more.
Well, we'll have to address that when we get to it, because Matu knows a little bit more about that than I do. And by the way, Bruce Scott Finn, I see Finn's out there.
Oh, hello, Finn.
Wie geht es dir heute, Finn? Wie geht es dir? Yeah. So anyway,
nice to have you here, Finn.
Yeah.
As I said before, it's maybe it could be interesting for new members to get a better overview of all our activities. So I don't want to regulate. I don't want to have the control over it, but.
Well, you kind of have to, but we haven't had any problems like that. We just
at the moment we don't have it, but imagine if we are 80 members, or 120 members,
or several thousand. Believe you me, the creek would have no problems kicking somebody off if they start acting like
it just becomes confusing.
Yeah.
If you put all things in just a few channels.
Yeah,
that's
right. Well, we'll probably have a number of channels we'll probably expand. They got to, I mean, Imagine if we had 10,000 people in there or more. It's just having a dozen channels is probably not going to work.
My thoughts about this.
Yeah, well, I'll chat with Matu on that one, so we'll see how we can pull that off. But for now, I'm just going to establish a fanfics channel, and we'll see how that goes, and then we can kind of go from there.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea.
Anything else, guys?
So many, but it's.
I'll tell you what else. We don't have our sequel, and I want a sequel. Yeah, I want a sequel. Damn it!
Man, that's a completely different topic, man. Really, you want to have a sequel? Me too. Did I tell you?
Yep.
No, you didn't tell us, Mendrick.
You might have mentioned something about it.
Yeah, you may have mentioned it somewhere. I seem to recall something.
Man. So we have to have a lot of sequels of this live stream.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Oh, we're going to continue to do this live stream. It's going to continue to happen for as long as the creek can do it, because see, I want 6 sequels or rather 5 sequels is what I want. And when Rosa is 70 years old, I want her to be doing Alita.
Wait.
Well, she did say she wouldn't mind doing it until she was 90.
Yeah, that's right.
How old are we then? Creaky.
Creaky will be really, really old, but I will.
I'm afraid I'm so blind till then that I see 100%. Yeah, after being blind, there only can happen one thing. I will
bionic
return
eyes,
to my-
Spendrick. Bionic cyber eyes, Spendrick.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
And of course,
man.
Spendrick, you do know the Alita Army says I'm immortal, so
Yeah, yeah.
we'll see how that works out.
Yep.
But I
Oh, boy.
don't think I want to be 300 years old.
Well, I
Yeah,
will
there we
be
go.
interested in hearing what you think about the story going forward now that Jason's got his limbs on.
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed that chapter. It's like he's got a whole new outlook on life now. He's just like, I'm like one of the guys now. And Zaza hitting on him. I love that. In the way Alita and Ito, they did something happen that they just,
Well, he comes back from the walk, and
Yeah.
the two of them are looking at him intently, trying to figure out. It's like, well, how did it go? But they don't want to ask.
yeah.
And he's like, "What? Did I do something?" And
They
Alita's
both
kind of like, "Well, I don't
nodded.
think so. What did
Yeah.
you do?"
Yeah, it was funny. They both nodded. That was really good. I like that.
Well, I'm glad it was went over well. I was hoping it would provide, a little bit of
Levity.
yeah.
Yeah. I like the part too where she says he says something about when he fought Fenry, how much he could do with one arm, and she said, "I told you so."
Mm-hmm. She has experience fighting with one arm.
That's right. That's right. So anyway, yeah, I highly recommend you guys all go read Lee's fanfic. I'm enjoying it. So it's really good. Now it's not a read you're going to get through a chapter in 10 minutes. That ain't going to happen. So make sure you allocate some time. But it's still enjoyable. So I would highly recommend it. So okay,
I'm glad to
guys.
hear people are enjoying it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I had to read it in 3 different spurts this time because like say my furnace went out and had the guys over here for 2 days, putting it back in, but
Especially
anyway,
in these temperatures. Yeah, I hope you got it working again.
Oh yeah, well I got a couple of little heaters too that work pretty well, but
Okay.
we're going to have some really cold temperatures coming up. It's going to be like -5 degrees Celsius, coming up. So that's going to be -10 degrees Celsius, actually, I think. Somewhere
At
in
the
there. 5.
moment?
Not right now. Right now it's pretty warm, but
Yeah.
I think Monday it's supposed to get down to 19 degrees Fahrenheit. So, which is what, 10 degrees Celsius, 8 degrees, something like that.
We have 6 degrees outside at the moment, so no snow, no ice. That's okay for me, because if you don't see enough and have a bad walk, then this would be too difficult.
Well, we've been having like temperatures here the last couple of days, 15, 16 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
So it's been pretty pleasant.
Very, very fast here.
But it's going to get
down
really.
here it's been below freezing.
Oh, has it?
Yeah.
Well, it has been here too. About a few days ago, it was pretty cold. But right now, I think it's, well, what is it right now? Let me look. Well, I got my phone on airplane mode, so I can't tell. Okay, it's 47 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's going to be about 8 degrees Celsius, about somewhere in that area, something like that anyway. Maybe 10 degrees Celsius. So, all right, guys, I guess anything you all want to talk about? Now, by the way, anybody out there, if you want to come on, I didn't put a Stammtisch slide in here. I meant to, and I forgot again, but we're going to have a Stammtisch. And if you want to come on, now what the Stammtisch is that, all of us we're just talking, we're not streaming, so in other words, nobody's
recorded.
it's not recorded. It's none of that stuff. So, you can come on and just have fun with us and stuff like that. Ah, saludos, Leonardo. ¿Cómo está, amigo? So he's out there. So anyway, Leonardo is a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that's if you want to come on and chat with us, you would do it. I don't care if you think your English is bad. Smendrick thinks his English is bad, but I think it's pretty damn good myself. His English is a lot better than my German, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure about this. It all depends what you want to say and what you can say.
I think Finn's in backstage.
No, he's not.
cool.
Oh,
No, he's not. I don't see him here. He's
oh, he mentioned Alita Army in backstage, so I wasn't sure.
yeah.
Ah,
No,
okay.
he's not.
Yeah, but he
He might be referring to something else.
Yeah.
Finn, wenn du uns hörst, komm zum Stammtisch.
Ja, kommen Sie bitte, Finn. Mein Deutsch ist nicht so gut, Finn.
I agree with Finn.
So anyway, well, if anybody wants to come on the Stammtisch, the regulars table, you can click on the link. And there it is right there. We will have us a continuing chat about Alita or whatever you want to talk about on there. And we will, we will talk about it. So, and it's not streamed to YouTube and it's not recorded. It's just us chickens, as they say down south. So
I love this.
yeah. All right, guys. Well, if there's no other questions, did we miss anything? I don't think so. I think we discovered why we have a pretty good beginning on why Erica is the way Erica is when she's an adult, or at least we got a good, kind of what happened to her that maybe is making her what she is, perhaps.
I kind of suspected it was going to be something like that.
Yeah.
That it turned her into what she became,
Yeah.
or helped put her on the path anyway.
Yeah. Because in all the previous volumes, she's had her moments as a little kid, a little girl, but you thought she was just a sweet little girl, now, holy mackerel, wow. So anyway, and as you can see from that center panel right there, Alita does love her Uncle Creek, and that's because he wants that sequel just like she does, and we're all fighting for it, everybody in the Alita Army. Mm-hmm. So, and thank you very much there, Finn. I appreciate that. And here's our queen. And our queen is, she's really pretty, of course, and just a superb actress. Man, you guys should have seen her in that play. I mean, God, she was magnificent in that play. I'm telling you, she's just really superb, So, but we want her in the sequel, and certainly we want Elle Lamont and Jesse Fisher in there too as Screwhead, because I know what I want, and I hope all y'all feel the same way. Is that we want Screwhead and Alita to team up and be on Alita's motorball team when they take on Joshigan's team, because I think they'll probably have two teams in the movie, unless they make Joshigan Emperor Joshigan like they did in the manga, But
yep.
If we could have Adjicutty, Crimson Wind, Screwhead, maybe a couple others, Scaromaticus, maybe Nausicaa, perhaps they might be on Joshigan's team for sure. But we set this up and have us a little brouhaha, between Alita's team and Joshigan's team, and of course Screwhead have that grappling chain and all that stuff, and we're gonna have some fun with that one, I think. When it happens. And of course, I don't have any inside information. I don't know what's going to be in the sequel. I think the way, if I get my way, what I want is I want the Motorball arc and the Zerkerpan arc in one movie, 1 3-hour movie. That's what I want, Now, I know my buddy Den, or Ox King as we know him, or now he's got a different name. I don't know what it is now. But he says that he thinks it would probably make more sense to have like Motorball as being, you know, the Alita 2, and then Zerkapan being Alita 3. But you know, that's not what I want. I want to see the Badlands arc in Alita 3. So you know, but we'll see how that's going to go.
Yep.
You know, so you know, hopefully we'll meet Figure 4 at the end of Alita 2. And then we'll see Alita kick ass in the Badlands in Alita 3. That's what I kind of want. So.
And Mr. Rodriguez, if you are listening to us, we need more director's cuts. Okay?
Yeah.
Do it, please.
Yeah, put out that 2.5-hour Alita movie, Alita Battle Angel movie. Yeah, do that. You know, I suspect when they do the sequel, because I have supreme confidence they're going to do a sequel. But I suspect what they'll end up doing is they will probably maybe put out, you know, an extended Alita Battle Angel before Alita 2 is, you know, comes out. That would be great. I would love that. Golly. And it would be buy those Blu-rays, baby, on that one too. So
as a re-release all over the world.
Yeah, I want to see Alita in that training. In the novelization, Alita does they go into a little more detail about Hugo training her, you know, to play Motorball, you know, and he comes around, you know, and Alita tells him, she's trying to remember, of course, who she was, like in the movie, and she says, you know, he picks up a 2x4 and said, when I come back around, hit me, you know. And he said, what? He said, yeah, you really hit me, you know. So anyway, she goes back around and he tries to hit her, and she puts her arms up and it shatters the 2x4, and she kind of jumps on top of him, and he kind of gets on like she's going to pound him into the ground, you know. And he's sitting there on the ground and said, did anything come back? You know, that's what I want to see. I want to see that kind of stuff. You know, that would be pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, in the novelization, it was like I think a couple of weeks of them doing that.
Yeah,
yeah. So exactly. It wasn't just a few days like it seemed like in the movie. It was like
for sure,
almost a month, I think.
Yeah,
for the novelization.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to have hitbacks. I mean, sure, you could take a swing at Alita if you want.
Yeah, if you don't value your life,
no guarantees on how she'll react.
Yeah, she might hit back. As a matter of fact, she probably would. You know,
especially if she's in fight mode.
Yeah. Anyway, we want all three of these in the sequel. All three of these superb professionals in the sequel. You know, because they deserve it, and the Alita Army deserves to see a sequel. So, come on, Disney, Jesus, give us that damn sequel. You know. All right, so tomorrow, I guess, is going to be another manga reading out of the original manga, Gundam Angel of Chaos.
Oh yeah, beginning of the month.
Fork in the Road, Mission 5 Choices, and I think Maxie's going to be the host. He's usually the host on these. I think Angelus did host one episode of a manga reading, but I think that was because Maxie was, had a little setback here a couple of years ago, you know, so he's, but he's back certainly since then. He's been doing all of them. So join us for that one. We're going to have a lot of fun. So, all right. Why is this image here? Well, that image is there because I like it. And of course, I'm managing the stream, and I'm also the janitor. So that, you know, I have all the positions in, in whatever this is I'm doing. So anyway, and to paraphrase Gruwishka, I'm only here for our girl and the Alita Army. And of course, all of us in the Alita Army are only here for our girl and each other in the Alita Army. And we want that sequel. So that only leaves one thing left to do, and that would be on my call of three to call to action. That would be 1, 2, 3.
Film
sequels, baby. And we will see you next week on the Alita live stream. We'll see you tomorrow on Radio Chaos. Bye.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
What's up, Alita Army? This is Hot Toys Alita, and I hope you enjoyed this week's Alita Livestream. Please join my Uncle Creek, Angelus, and our other guests for next week's show. Remember, I do not stand by in the presence of evil, and film those sequels, baby! See you next time!